Decisions.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah,
and I think we're
yeah,
live.
there is no saying no to tater tots.
No, especially with cheese, jalapeno, and onions.
You know, I mean, it's like the only problem that you have with tater tots right now is that we're on the air. Is that we are?
I don't want to be smacking in people's ears.
Yeah, no, I am one of those types of people who like freaking hate that shit.
It is like, dude, it's a week of decisions, Daphne.
You know, it's. It's look, I woke up today with the mood of a toddler who was forced to spend 12 full hours in the sun at Disney World.
Oh boy, this show is going to be so much fun.
I mean, it's like I had to take my shoes off and everything.
Good morning, everyone. It is June 30th.
Oh my God.
25, and it is
really?
a fucking Monday, and
yeah.
it is also the last day of Pride Month. So all the corporations that are homosexual
can stop pretending. They can stop pretending now.
Y'all can take down the rainbows.
Yeah, although they pretty much stopped pretending.
And they did now. Well, it's because they have a new liberty. But anyway, that's another story.
Corporations are not your friends.
Yes, this is not a political show.
Yeah, exactly.
I won't go there, but yeah.
Yeah. But I think in general, corporations are not your friends.
No, corporations are not your friends. Never have been and never will be.
Right, yeah.
Do you want to do an intro and start? Because I got stuff to talk about. That's completely not related to what we're supposed to be here for. But I have zero
It was more fun when we were talking about tater tots. How did we get off the top?
We're going to talk about tater tots. We're going to talk about serotonin uptake, and we're going to talk about kittens and all kinds of shit.
Oh, there
today.
You go. That sounds like fun.
You ready?
Absolutely not. But hit it.
Here we go.
Trigger warning. Fuck you.
That
seems
Happy anniversary, God. Daphne.
Really? Mm-hmm. Well, I know. Was it really Friday?
Yeah, it's our 300th episode together.
Oh my goodness!
I know.
And I didn't even bring you a gift.
Bitch, I got one for you later.
Oh no. Oh my goodness! Yeah, Friday was
battery is not included.
Oh well, I wish I had batteries for this though.
You just sit there holding it. Is it spinning? Is it spinning?
Right? Yeah, it's spinning. It's spinning
okay.
Now. I have to wait for it to like charge and not charge.
Oh,
like,
God.
You know, because I mean, Friday was such a clusterfuck. I mean, really,
I'm so sorry.
No, not at all. Because it's
I
like
added to it.
Facebook. It's like part of this is Facebook too, because I swear to God, I did not see that message that you sent me was not there.
But I swear to God, I sent it. I swear to God. And it's like so messed up because Chris had just said, "Did you message Daphne?" I'm like, "Yeah, she's fucking fine." And then I get a notification on my phone that we went live, and I'm like, "Wait a minute." And so I look down, and we're like,
and it's like, and it's me just like struggling, and it's me like I was struggling. Like I don't know, there was something about like, look, like that's why I do like my live stream, my draw stream, like, oh hey everyone, everybody in the chat. Oh yeah, I'm dying here.
It's hot,
and I have the air conditioner on, so it just kind of like takes a while for it to like get in. I used to have a portable air conditioner in the office, right? Which you think would have been a good idea, but it gets so hot in here. That thing was like dying on its own. because it was competing way too much with the heat that the windows that was just coming in through here, and it was just like,
God damn it. No, Rob, I am not ignoring you. I promise. Let me
right. You see, that's the thing. It's like, I think that there's like something up with Facebook, because this is not the first time that this has happened, where you said you sent me a message and I literally didn't have it on my end. So that's kind of like, so that's what happened on Friday. And then it's like, I was just like so unprepared to do the show on Friday by myself that it was just like a clusterfuck. Like, I went live without even realizing that I didn't have put myself in here on this screen. So people probably had like 2 minutes of a blank screen. And then I throw up the intro, right? And then it's like, I don't know, like shit just was not working even when I got on the on the thing. It's like, look, it's the thing. That's it. I'm not even mentioning. It's like it's the Streamyard, right?
Yeah.
And then you were commenting. It's like, and then it's like, okay, you know what? This is like too much of a mess for me to even try to fake my way through it.
I almost I would have made it home, but then I was kind of glad that you decided to shut it down anyway, because I ended up having the best baked potato I've ever had in my fucking
very
life.
Nice, very nice.
Oh my God, it was the best fucking potato. Like, God, I want to redo that. I might leave and go get one of them potatoes today.
Oh, there you go. Well, it's like, you almost had tater tots, but
yeah,
oh my God.
Tater tots.
Yeah. So it's like, so hello everyone joining us in the chat. And yes, we see you, our beautiful eyeball people watching us from regions beyond. If you are joining us from Facebook, please, for the love of God, come to YouTube.
Yeah. And if you have my phone number.
Yeah.
It's like, about to show you how select this is for. If you have my phone number and we work together and you need to message me, it might be best just to text me now. Don't call, because I will ignore the fuck out of you. I will wait for the phone to stop ringing, and then I will text you what's up.
We have our limits.
But text my fucking phone, because I do not know what's up.
Yes, so please come on over to YouTube, join the sexy people in the chat. And while you're here, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell whenever, so you get notified whenever any of our shows go live. I mean, Facebook has just been, it's like Facebook and StreamYard has been going at it.
Yeah.
So.
And Facebook is the worst right now.
So it's like a text me for a good time. I mean, really, like, it even, like, this morning, it couldn't have been easy either, because it's like Nita did the StreamYard for this and it duplicated it.
Yeah, it fucking duplicated it. Okay, so what happened is the way StreamYard used to work is you go in and you set everything up, you pull up the networks you were streaming to, or the broadcast areas or whatever. And I did that, and I'd done everything. I typed in the links and all that shit. And mind you, that's not set to copy paste. That's fucking me sitting here on my keyboard, clickety clackety, motherfucker. And then it notifies me that my StreamYard has been disconnected, or my Facebook's been disconnected from the StreamYard. And I'm like, what the fuck? I just used it, so it should still be good. Well, no, it decided it wasn't. So I went to add it to the destinations. And when I added it to the destination, it took me back to the reset stream, and I'm like, are you really fucking kidding me?
It's just like I just have a
that's why I put no effort in this shit. Like, I just like it's like, what are you doing? Oh, we're going live. Okay.
Yeah. And the funny thing is that supposedly it's like last week we had the heat dome, and supposedly today is supposed to be better, but like it's not as hot allegedly, but I don't know. It just seems messier today. And I am a baked potato right now. And by the way, hello, everyone. My name is Daphne Lage. You're hosting jacket potato, as they say in the UK. Oh, and I am a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. I have been self-publishing comics since 1992. And you know what that means.
Emotional damage.
A lot of it. So much of it. I am known for the furry fantasy adventure Tall Tales and my medieval fantasy drama Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, which I am finally sending out the last of the rewards today, so I can finally close out issue 10. Thank you, everybody who supported the campaign. And in the meantime, you can read both my comics online at egoworks.com, EGOWORKS, and Tall Tales, that's TAILS online.com. And you can check out all my videos on how I make my comics here on YouTube at my channel at Daphne Lage, Lage Art, which simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. And to tell you more about it, here's Mr. Potato Head.
My name is Anita. I have a Google account. It runs Indie Comics Network. Me and my friends, we get on here. We talk about comics and shit and stuff and whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just what it is. And it's at Indie Comics Net.
Right.
And you know what that means? Yeah. No.
Oh, no.
No, I don't.
No.
It means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. It means I'm back in the closet.
Oh, no. And it's too hot, you know. I mean, yeah. I mean,
it was always hot in my closet. That's why I had to come out.
Yeah.
But because I Fluffy. Let me go. Hey, girl.
Yeah. I mean, really, because it's like I said, I woke up with the attitude of a toddler. I mean, I am not in a very good mood today. You know, I mean, I don't know. It's just like
somebody shit in your finger-fed Cheerios.
Oh no, that's gross. Thanks for the visual. I don't know. It's just like a general. Like I said, I had to take off my shoes.
One more day.
Yeah, it's like I mean, it's like I had to take off my shoes, the whole thing, and it's like, yeah, I have the little fan. I have another fan here,
hot and I don't want to go.
You know, I'm a little bit tired of sitting in this chair, but I'm like, I can't move anything. It's not like I can move my stuff like to the dining room or to the living room, you know, just to at least have a different environment or something. But
it won't work. Even if you did, because I did. I'm in the living room now, and I liked it at first because it gave me the ability to be surrounded by my family while I was doing my work.
Right.
But the problem with it is I have the attention span of a fucking squirrel on crack, and so like it's like one thing, and I'm like, and then I wonder why it's taking me 12 to 14 hours to get what normally would take me 5 hours to get done. And be like, what'd you say? What?
Right?
What?
Yeah. You know, and it's like, and especially like I have very specific things that I'm trying to finish here. One of them was those sketch covers, which I finally got done.
Those look great, by the way.
This weekend. I mean, I was trying a new technique on them, which takes me like, it took me 2 full weekends just to finish 5 covers, because this new technique that I'm doing, I don't understand why it took me so long, because technically I'm doing my technique in reverse. It was something that I was watching a lot of sketch cover artists do.
Right.
And I go, oh, let me try this. Right. And what it is that they lay down the color first. Right. They do their marker color first, and then it's the inking that's last. Because then what that does is that it keeps, because you're not coloring on top of ink, there's no smearing. And I was having a lot of problems with smearing the ink in the past when I'm coloring. So, you know, it looks a little messy. I'm usually able to fix it, but if I don't need to, why do that, right? So I was like laying down the pencils, coloring on top of the pencils, and then I would ink on top of, you know, and it's like, yeah, and it worked. But the problem is that it seemed to take me like 2 or 3 times as long to do.
Yeah.
You know,
it's just because it's different. Once you establish, once you've gotten it, it's muscle memory. You have to retrain yourself.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I guess it's kind of like walking on a treadmill backwards. You know, it's like, yeah, you kind of have to get used to it.
Do not have the coordination.
Right. Yeah. So probably that's what it is. But they did come out nice looking. So
they were very
it
nice.
might be something that I'll kind of like continue to play around with.
I totally called dibs, but I'm too broke.
Oh well, all those covers are accounted for.
Fuck them people, right? Fuck them kids, Daphne.
But there's always more. There's always more. So I just have to like do the labels and kind of like fight the sun to go to the post office just to get rid of them because because it's like my app is telling me to absolutely not go running today, and it's just giving me all reds across the board. No, and no. In terms
don't do it.
Right.
Don't do it.
So I figured, well, can I sneak out
There's
and go
the
to the
heat
post
dome
office?
and the Sahara dust dome.
Oh, right.
And all this other shit.
Yeah.
All it does is makes for beautiful sunsets, but stay inside and don't watch them.
Yeah. But the it's like that meme from Mario that I see from the Mario Brothers, or that level where the sun is trying to kill you. That's outside right now. So I got my little fan that I'm waiting for it to charge because of course I'm very impatient, so it's like it only has like enough juice to run for 5 minutes and then I have to leave it. So at least I got that right. So I have one commission that I have to finish today. I don't know. I think I might do that because that literally is something that I could take to the living room and work on. Because I just have to light box. I just have to ink. Do I have right? It's like I can't show it, but I don't know. I could just ink it, which means that I could probably just take to the living room and work on that. But it's like there's this like all this other stuff. Like I'm really, really trying to get I'm finally on page 17 on issue 11 of Eagle Raven. And it's just like, oh my God. It's like, I don't know. It's like these issues are just like, I don't know. I think it's that I really have to figure out how to get over that thing that I have where it's like the closer I am to finishing something, the slower I get.
Because you have that fear of completion, Daphne.
Yeah, I do. Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
And
it's get over that and I can talk you through it.
Oh, I'm sure. We do. Daddy. I do need. Yeah. You know what's funny? We laugh, but I don't know about her, but I know I'm laughing. It's like I think I need to like actually sit down in a stream with you and just and just have you like talk in my ear while I'm working on it because
I've got experience.
Because yesterday I tried my first Discord stream thing. So it was Visenia's birthday yesterday. So happy birthday, Visenia.
Happy birthday, Vis.
And she was holding a private party in her Discord because the last time she held her birthday party in a public stream, she got hate trained.
Oh,
I don't know, for some reason, Joseph. Like all these trolls just came out of nowhere, and
that's what they do. Really gotta ruin everything,
wrecking shit. Like it was just like a whole thing. So she had a little private stream for herself in Discord. That if you are signed up on her Patreon, you have the link to it. So. So I tried it out. So it was very strange. It was just like it was kind of like being on a Zoom call.
Right. No, that's exactly what it's like.
We had a good time and it was nice. It was her and several of her other friends from her streams. And I used the time also to finish those sketch covers. It was nice. We had a nice time. Although Discord, I don't know. I don't know. I'm really Discord as a platform doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't really do anything for me. Like it's not like it was nice to hang out with Vess for her birthday. But like I said, Discord as a platform, I found it very clunky and like kind of like difficult to find stuff, because it's like we were sharing stuff in the chat and everyone had to walk me through like where everything was, and it's just it was just like but it was nice, right? But like I said, I don't know if I don't think Discord is ever going to be something I'm going to create for myself. I guess people use it because of the privacy aspect of it. That you have to be invited into a Discord. I guess it's kind of like the same thing like back in the day when we had forums, where it's like you couldn't just walk into a forum,
Right. I miss those days though.
And so it's like so it's nice to have a private space, but I think the interface itself is a bit clunky. And I don't think, and it's not something that I see myself managing anytime soon, because I have enough going on without having to have to manage a forum. That's it. Rob says it's a glorified chat room. Melissa says, I like Discord for group discussions, but when the group is too big, it's a bit overwhelming.
I miss Facebook rooms.
Facebook rooms? What was that?
Right. It was kind of like the Facebook version of fucking Discord, but it was easy to it was very, very easy. You didn't have to upload something and all this other shit. It was just, it was nice. Carl used to do it for the green room, where a bunch of creators would get in there and talk shit and stuff.
And they don't have it anymore?
No, Facebook took, anytime Facebook has a great feature, they fucking remove it. Like the two best features they ever had: scheduling from a profile and fucking rooms. They took off.
Well, because it benefits you.
Yeah, well, it did. So
that's the problem. If it benefits you, it's not a good update. If it benefits them, it's an excellent update.
It actually made the fucking platform worth all the bullshit.
Right.
It really did. And then they took those away, and it's like, okay.
Right. Yeah, so it's like, so that was exactly. It's like I'm trying to just keep track of the platforms I'm on now, and it's like,
don't say that to the wrong person, Lou. I'm telling you, because they'll be like, well, it's simple. All you gotta do is set up your notifications. Bitch, I have 27,000 followers on one Facebook account alone. Yeah. Do you think I'm gonna turn my notifications for anything on? My phone would vibrate so much I'd be walking around.
Yeah.
Like, no, fuck off, bro. Like, no.
It's like, no. It's like, you know what it is? It's like there really are people like people like that. Like, they always have to have a comment for something.
They always gotta
because I agree with Melissa. Like, I don't have time to keep track of all this shit. And it's like, you know what? Sometimes I just want to be able to bitch about something without some reply guy thinking that means I want to hear, I want to hear how they're going to solve the problem. It's like, no, I'm not mentioning this to solve the problem.
Right. It's just part of what it is. And sometimes I need to vent, because if I don't vent, I'm going to explode.
Right. Yeah.
And the last time I exploded, I got banned from Facebook for 30 days. So
right. Well, yeah. But then again, it doesn't take much to do that. So, so it's like I'm still massaging my Threads platform. I'm still massaging my Threads feed.
Yeah, you are.
And it's like, look, it's just like I'm just beginning to realize, even when looking at other people's posts, how little engagement there is on Threads.
There really is absolutely nothing over there.
So it kind of makes me wonder. It's like, where are you all hanging out? Where are all these authors? I mean, I guess they all have private Discords that they're all hanging out on, I guess.
They in the TikToks.
Because it's like, because sometimes I'm following all these authors right? And most of the time, it just seems like they're talking to themselves.
They're not hanging out. They are talking to themselves for the most part.
Right.
And they're not hanging out. Because you know what they're doing that these comic book creators aren't doing?
What?
Oh boy, I'm about to ban writing books.
Oh, well, that's true.
Oh, jeez. Did I hurt feelings?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sorry,
I mean, because it's like, holy shit, like these authors are prolific. Like, you know, it's really funny because it's like, you know, when I was at Monsterotica, right, that was also something that really like stood out for me. Was just like how many goddamn books they had on their table. Lou says, what did Lou say? It's like I post to the same to all the platforms I use because I think people feel like me regarding too many platforms and notifications. So yeah, I guess you figure you're going to catch them somewhere, right?
Right.
Oh, here's a funny thing, right? Speaking of like nobody's ever heard of you until they've heard of you, and then all of a sudden everyone's saying, "How come I've never heard of you?" So there's this show on Nickelodeon called Tiny Chef, right? And it's this little, like, I think it's a cartoon from New Zealand created by these guys who I guess they originally created the cartoon for social media. Like that's where they started, I guess, like posting their little animations. And you know, they had, you know, and it's a little stop motion thing. And it's like this little chef that speaks in like some kind of like either a really, really thick accent or like this crazy speech impediment, right? But the animation on it is just like so quaint. Like I watched the animation just to watch Tiny Chef talking because then you get to see his little tongue stick out. And it's just like, it's like, you know, especially when his little speech impediment happens and his little tongue, like it's just a very specific piece of animation. And it's just very well done, right?
Let this goddamn cat in.
So it was on Nickelodeon for like since 2022. So I guess they got picked up by Nickelodeon and it's on, and it was on, it's like, I guess it was like the shit won an Emmy. It was like, I guess it was on Nickelodeon. I don't know what their ratings numbers are, what anything counts as ratings anymore. But the shit won an Emmy, right? So it's not like this was just like some kind of just shitty little show they posted because, oh, it's popular online. No, this thing has legs. So I think about like a couple of weeks ago, Nickelodeon contacted the animators, the creators. I think that the thing ran for like 2 seasons and like 40 something episodes. And they told the creators that they were canceling the show, that they weren't going to order any more, you know, any more episodes, as CEO wouldn't want to be a type of thing. So the animators scrambled and they made a little animated thing. Like the thing is like, I don't know, like maybe like a minute. Like it's just like this really tiny animated clip that they posted on TikTok. And it's Tiny Chef getting the phone call from Nickelodeon saying that they were canceled. And to see this thing burst into tears. I mean, they got the little quiver on his little felt lip and everything. You know, like the eyes got all glassy and, you know, it ran to his bed. You know, he tried to keep a strong face and then he ran to his bed and he was crying. The shit went mad viral on TikTok. And everyone was going, I've only known Tiny Chef for 2 minutes and now I will die for him. And I think like everybody, like all of a sudden Nickelodeon was inundated with what the fuck? Why are you canceling Tiny Chef? Why have I only heard about it now? You know, it's like, what the fuck kind of marketing were you guys doing? blah, 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 the whole thing. Right. So I think like so they're trying to get this, of course, like, so now it's like, of course, when you get something that viral, right, you have to jump on it, because especially when you're talking about trends on the internet, I mean, your window, I mean, really, it's like, I really, it's kind of like, oh, I wish, Andy was here, it's like, it's like, just so he could see what his 15 minutes of fame has turned into, where, it's like, where Andy Warhol talked about in the future, everyone is going to have 15 minutes of fame, right? But when it comes to these like micro trends, it's like you have to, it's like you're lucky if you get like 5 seconds.
5 seconds of fame.
I mean, you have to, like, the shit went viral. I think it even surprised the animators. And of course, they're just like, yeah, exactly. It's like, why invest in a new idea when you can beat SpongeBob to death, right? And everybody is inundating Nickelodeon with that. It's like everyone is ride or die for Tiny Chef.
Tiny Chef. It's the diapers for Stewie all over again.
And the thing is that it really kind of hit home the part where it's like how we're always so self-conscious about promoting ourselves because we don't want to bother people. Right? It's like we think that, oh, we're going to be annoying, right?
Right.
But here's the thing. Tiny Chef was on the air since 2022 and nobody knew about it until now. And these guys were posting to social media too. It's not like, but like the Labubus. The guy was making these things since like 2015, but it's only now that everyone's heard of it.
Right.
So
because
it's
that
like
one right person had to get a hold of that, and
right person saw it.
Right.
So it's like, why it's like, we need to keep repeating, what we're trying to do. So it's like the fact that you're posting the same thing to all of these platforms. It's like, yeah, in theory, it sounds annoying.
Right.
But the thing is, though, everyone on all those platforms, even though you're posting it 10 times, everybody on those individual platforms are only going to see it once. If they even see it. Yeah. Right? And then it's like there's this thing on Blue Sky now where artists are trying to encourage each other to repost stuff.
Right.
Because they're like going, it's like, look, you have to cycle your stuff through. People are not seeing it. It's like the stuff. And in the end, it's like, that's the problem with content is that, we're putting our artwork in this river of sludge.
Right.
And, this, and we're feeling bad for adding to it. When you have, companies just pouring crap into the river, so notice their stuff, because what is it that I remember? I had read that when it came to like Facebook like ads, which I don't use because I never found any, no matter how I worked Facebook ads, it never worked for me. That you need to run Facebook ads for 2 weeks before you actually need them, so that people that you want to see those Facebook ads finally start to see them. So what it is that even Facebook is encouraging you to pour sludge into the river. Because that's just how they have it set up. That it's like, well, one, because it means more money for them, and two, well, It's like, yeah. And two, it's like, that's how long it takes for stuff to cycle. When everybody's doing like this, right? How many times do you need your ads or your artwork or whatever? It's like, I think I've watched the same ads on Instagram from Chinese short dramas several hundred times and still watching them every time. Right. And there was like this other thing that it's like a person has to see an ad 7 times before they actually pay attention to it once.
Oh, shit.
Right? And then it's like, so it's like, if I have to post 7 times, like, it's almost like, yeah, I do have to annoy you for you to look at this. Like, there was this other thing. I'm trying to remember. It was also a discussion on Threads. Oh, man, it was something specific about this, but I completely forgot about it, right? But of course, conversely, there are, you have something like how is it that a company as big as Nickelodeon, it took them to cancel Tiny Chef for anybody to even
see Tiny Chef.
Right. For anybody to even know that it existed. So what are they doing in terms of marketing? Were they just not doing anything in terms of marketing? Or was it, I don't know. Like, how come whatever marketing Nickelodeon was doing wasn't working until they canceled the show?
Because nobody has fucking syndicated TV anymore. We're all on fucking streaming services. So if they are advertising, they're not advertising on the streaming services. We don't see Nick,
right.
Nickelodeon anymore.
Well, that's true. Yeah. So it's like, yeah. So in the end,
I have fucking 4 kids and didn't know what the fuck it was until it made headlines.
Right. Yeah. So it's like,
hell, I didn't even know Nickelodeon was still a thing after all the little
I know, right?
controversy.
Because you know what it is? I confuse. Sometimes I confuse. Most of the time, I'm confusing Nickelodeon with Cartoon Network.
Right.
It's, because it's like, but conversely, right? There's also plenty of examples of people who do like companies who pour millions of dollars into advertising for something that never takes off.
Right.
Like the other day, I learned that there's another Riddick movie in production. And I'm like going, why? Like Riddick is that one character that how much money did, I don't know, was it Warner Brothers?
Milk it.
Like, how much money did they pour into trying to get Riddick to be a cultural phenomenon? And the shit can't even get a toehold.
Right.
So conversely, just because you spend a lot of money to get people to know your thing doesn't mean it's a thing that people are going to care about. I mean,
because if you're not hitting that target audience,
right? If you're not hitting, the right, like, and in the end, it kind of makes you wonder, like, who is the target audience for Riddick?
Men in jail, and they're not allowed TVs.
It is a movie about a man in jail, but
the commissary is very expensive, very, very, very expensive.
So it's like, so how is it that with millions and millions and millions of dollars in ad revenue budget, like Riddick doesn't even like register? Like, you can ask the average person what Riddick is, and they're like, well, I don't know. But granted,
I'm telling you that commissary TVs.
You ask them what the Fast and the Furious is, and I'm sure
they'll know that.
They'll know that,
well, for sure.
Right? And I think that was the fluke franchise for Vin Diesel, right? Yeah, Pitch Black was really good. I like the second one. I like the second one as well, The Chronicles of Riddick, because I really, really like the design of it. It's very like Finch's Dune inspired, heavily inspired, right? I liked it. I was probably one of 3 people who liked it.
Well, what happened? That's you. Which Streamyard are we using?
Oh yeah.
It's 11:40. It's 11:40, and that was my notification.
Right, but that was an actual phone text.
No fucking way.
Yeah, that was it's like maybe you just ignore it.
No, this is Facebook. This is
I did type it out in Facebook too. Yeah.
And I even responded to you, but I just got the notification for this.
Right. I guess that's what it is. Right? If you wait for the notifications, you don't see it. Right. So, so Fast and the Furious ended up like the Fluke franchise. That's what there's 10 of them now. They're making 11. I don't know, and it's just like, so there was this comic. So Ellen Winkler, who used to work at Antarctic Press and ran her own company, Radio Comics, back in the day, right? So she's been selling. She also sells comics, like she's a retailer, right? So she puts like a lot of like comics on like regular comics on eBay that she sells, and she likes to like showcase a couple of them, especially if they're rather notable.
Oh, you're talking about the Radio Comics with an X?
Yeah, Radio Comics. Ellen Winkler.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
So she had posted a thing on Blue Sky about someone. Oh, Tom Brevoort. I don't know. It's like someone had mentioned this comic, right? And even she had to have a laugh about it, right? Because it was like this comic from Marvel that came out like I think in like the very early 90s. I think like Jim Lee was just coming into prominence and Joe Quesada, those guys, right? So it was a comic called Nightcat, which only had one. Let me show you. It's like, because you have to see this because it's very of the time. Let me see. Share screen.
And some Omaha looking art.
No. So. Okay.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So it's this very, very. It's a Joe Jusko cover, right? So they did this. I don't know what year he says. So this is Tom Brevoort. Tom Brevoort. Right.
That dude.
Right. I guess like he had his hand in writing this, right? And does he say when this came out? It was somewhere in like I said, the early 90s.
So 90s. I just read the singing sensation part.
Yeah, designed by Jim Lee, painted cover by Joe Jusko, scripted by Stan Lee, plotted by Jim Salicrup and Barry Dutter.
So the trifecta.
Right. So yeah.
Never heard of it.
Right, exactly, right? So we're all looking at this, right? Going, America's hottest singing sensation is now Marvel's newest superhero. I'm sitting here going, who the fuck is that? Right? Yeah, Aww. They were Joe Jusko's cats, yeah. But I'm like going, who the fuck is that? Right? And it's somebody, I don't know, like Jenny Tavares or something. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think he mentioned she mentioned the name. Ellen Winkler mentioned the name, right? But so who this woman was this like this 19-year-old model that this skeevy record executive wanted to make into a star. Yeah. I mean, it's like you could like all the cliches that you're thinking about this is it's all there. The 19-year-old model, the skeevy 40-year-old record executive that's, that's fucking her on the side because he's gonna make you a star. And they came up with this brilliant idea of let's do a comic. We'll have Jim Lee design the costume. And then when you're in concert, you dance around in the costume. So yeah, they put together this team, right, or whatever, to make this comic, right, that's supposed to coincide with her album release. And I don't know, somebody get the inflation calculator, because this shit cost, like, they spent $1.5 million to make and promote this thing. Right? And the album comes out, the comic comes out, right? And Ellen, who was working at a comic book store at the time, she remembers when this book came out, and that her store owner, her boss, was convinced this was going to be the next big thing and ordered like 100 copies of this.
And 99 are collecting dust.
Yeah, well, that's what Jose said. That's what Jose said. So the album comes out and the book comes out. The album comes out, doesn't chart at all.
Oh my God.
Right? The reviews of it were incredibly kind, but pretty much they said that, oh, this is just a copycat of Madonna and Paula Abdul, who was the hot things at the time.
2 steps
but
forward,
there's nothing,
and 2 steps back.
But there was nothing special. We were talking about that, right? That there was nothing about it that made it stand out from just being Paula Abdul, but different. You know? Remember, it's like, so like we were talking the last time about Batman, but different. And this was like Madonna, but different, or Paula Abdul, but different. And the book had the same fate. It came out. Nobody gave a shit. Everyone said the story was stupid, although it wasn't stupid enough that they didn't borrow it for the Catwoman movie that everyone said was stupid. So, you know, it's like, no, absolutely wrong. So, you know, so if $1.5 million
can't cut it,
can't put you into culture significance, right? I mean, but like I said, at the same time, though, right? And also, it turned out that she wasn't really that much of a singer. That she was a singer the way Milli Vanilli was a singer.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, they said that most of her album was actually someone else's voice on top of everything. So it's like what Milli Vanilli's CNC Music Factory. Remember that one? Where it's like, you know, it's like, I don't know, we need a skinny bitch in the video. But it was, you know, it was a gospel singer or someone who was actually doing the voice. You know, it's just that whole thing. So I thought that was like, you know, so like I said, it's like there's a lot of examples of people of how throwing money at something doesn't solve your promotional issue. But at the same time, just because we're not paying for it, you know, it's like, doesn't mean that we don't that we don't promote, you know, because it's like, if it takes somebody 7 times to notice your ad once, to notice your artwork once, you kind of do have to be a pest about it.
When it comes to the arts, and this is all art,
right?
It's the fates,
right?
Like, I'm dead ass serious, because I know 3 people personally who are very high up in the comics world, and all of them have an origin story that is the right place, the right person at the right time.
Yeah, and I think that that's something that a lot of people don't like admitting, that a lot of this stuff really is luck.
Right.
You know, that it's like Eastman and Laird didn't purposefully set out to make Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Right.
They just made Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They didn't expect it to be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Heroes in a Half Shell.
Right. They weren't expecting that at all. It was just 2 guys fucking around making a parody comic of Daredevil, and they lucked out. They lucked out. You know? You know, and I think, you know, and it's just kind of like, I think it's ridiculous when people think that it's like, oh, you can manufacture that.
No.
You know, when they look at, oh, well, they did it. No, they lucked out. Yeah, they did it, but they lucked out. You know, they didn't manufacture that. You know, Warner couldn't manufacture Riddick, right? They couldn't manufacture Nightcat. You know, there's no manufacturing it, you know? It's like Labubu was just minding their own business. Tiny Chef was just minding their own business.
Right.
until they got canceled. And now it's an internet sensation for at least the next 3 weeks as these trends go.
5 minutes, Daphne.
You know,
5
right.
minutes.
You know, it's like, look, it's like Labubu. The guy was just doing these children's books and these little toys and minding his own business until some
when
K-pop
up from the ground
star,
came a bubbling crude.
right. Before like right, exactly. A K-pop star had the shit dangling on her purse and everyone was like going, what the fuck is that?
I want it.
Right. I mean, yeah, it's like we want it, our precious. You know, I mean, and then people are completely unhinged. And that's kind of like that. I don't know. That's kind of the part that bothers me, though, is that, yeah, that nowadays it's not just like a trend becoming a trend. It's like that people really do become unhinged about it. Like yesterday, the question.
Because trend stands for the rise of an existential nation for the downfall of society.
Okay. And also way too many people make shit their personality.
For sure.
You know, from Stanley Cups to Labubus to Tiny Chef. You know, so that just because yesterday on Jose's show, they brought up the question, like, what trend? I'm sure everyone's figured out by now that it's like I'm all over the place with this topic. It's like I have no real point that I'm trying to make here.
We just talking.
Yeah. So they were talking about, like, you know, what's a trend in comics that you want to finally see die, or that should finally make its way out. So if there was a trend in comics, like, now I'm just asking, it's like, so what's a trend in comics that you want to finally see, like, kind of die?
I don't want to get canceled.
Oh no.
Like in independent comics or comics as a whole?
I don't know. Do comics as a whole if it's safer. Whatever. I mean, I know it's not I know you don't have only one, but I
don't know what would be the one. With indie comics, I have a huge pet peeve that I'd just like to see this shit drop off. The pity fuck post when you're not doing as well as you think you should be.
Oh, that's true.
The fucking woe is me type shit.
Yeah, no,
I am so fucking, like, I see more of that every day. It's like, bitch, the economy sucks. We're about to be in World War III, and you worried about this shit. I'm so sorry. I'm like, cry me a river, bro.
By the way, we're all busy buying Labubus.
You know, Labubus and gas mask.
Yeah, right. Hanging,
and
gas
the
with
fucking and the fucking superheroes. Marvel and DC have enough of that shit.
Right.
Like they've caked it. They got it. It's the let them
right.
It.
Yeah, it's like the Batmans, but we don't need any more Batmans.
No Batmans, but different. No Supermans, but different.
Right.
Just keep your shits.
Right.
Just keep them. But that's me personally.
Right. Yeah.
So don't, if superheroes are your thing, don't. It's just not my thing. I'm more of the fantasy comics type shit.
Yeah.
And like the only action comic I ever cared for.
Okay, so let me ask you this. What trope in fantasy comics, right? What trope in fantasy comics are you tired of seeing?
I mean, no trope specifically, because I mean,
like there has to be a fantasy comic that you won't buy.
The enemies to lovers. Anything with enemies to lovers. That's not my.
Yeah, that is annoying because most of the time people do it wrong. But that's mostly in romantasy novels. I hate those. I hate that enemies to lovers shit because they're always doing it wrong.
The one.
Especially when they start off as like the big loser.
Yeah, like
the biggest loser.
But what's fucked up is I like an underdog tale, but nobody knows how to tell them.
Right. It's tough. It's tough. Yeah.
So it's like, the chosen one. I'm so beyond it. Like, nah.
I mean, because you know what's funny though, because
and the D&D campain.
Oh my god, that's the one that I was going to mention.
Like that. I'm tired of that too. If I want to roll dice,
fantasy trope,
if I'm going to play myself,
if
I do play myself. You know, that's another story for another day.
If there was a trope in fantasy comics that I would like to see stop, is is to stop turning your D&D campaigns into comics.
Right.
Because most of the time, like the randomness of a D&D campaign only works because it is a D&D campaign.
Right.
But
and you're live and in the moment.
Yeah. But it doesn't work when you're trying to make a narrative. You have to actually sit down and take those elements, and you have to make them make sense.
And that can be done. R.A. Salvatore did it.
Right. It's like
it can be done.
Because it's like if I hear because that's usually a red flag for me when somebody says that it's like, we based it on my D&D campaign. Next. And then usually usually what the story is the never-ending adventure.
Right.
Is the adventure that doesn't really go anywhere. And that's really kind of I like D&D.
What sucks though, Daphne, is because when you think about it, some of the best fantasy novels, that's basically what they are. But there's a difference. They didn't write it like a script, or
right. Like this is
feel like
this is what
because the Dark Elf trilogy, the Dragonlance Chronicles,
there has to be a narrative to it, though.
Right.
Like even if it was based on D&D properties, I think because I think Dragonlance is a D&D property, right? They weaved that together into an actual narrative. It's not the never-ending campaign.
Right.
And the thing is, it's like with these comics that are based on D&D campaigns, that's just all it sounds like. When I start looking at it's and that's kind of part of it too. You had to be there,
right?
That and you kind of get this
bring
feeling.
Me there. I don't care about your story. Like in that, I think that's the difference with Dragonlance. They brought you there,
right?
Like
you
like
they tightened up
somebody
the
on
lore.
The sidelines watching.
Like they tightened up the lore so that it actually makes sense, as a narrative, as a story, right? But the one that the general comics thing that I had, like going back to La Boo Boo and Stanley Cups and Tiny Chef, is that the one that I would like to see people like really calm the fuck down on. No offense, Rob, but it's variant covers. Because it's like, I still remember this one artist who was selling a sketchbook, and he had 30 variant covers for one sketchbook.
Okay.
And he had like a $500 level where you can get all the variant covers. And it's like you're asking people to spend $500 for 30 variants of the same book. And then it's like you go on TikTok.
The collector's market.
And then it's like you go on TikTok and we goof on the Karens that have 50 variants of a fucking Stanley Cup with all the blingy accessories and everything. And it's like, what's the difference?
Right.
And don't tell me, it's a collector thing, because it's like, in the end, we know how fickle collector things are. Keep reading. Just wait 3 months and you'll be able to get La Boo Boos at a normal price.
Right.
At the store. It's like, it's already like, it's been dying out. The fad's been dying out in Asia. Right.
Right.
We just got it. Right. So everyone's like, just wait 3 months. Just wait 3 months and you'll be able to find La Boo Boos at retail price. Again, without people murdering each other for it. So we all know, and I don't know who the fuck is collecting Stanley Cups at this point.
Bruh, people are. It's fucking stupid.
So
basic white bitches, that's it.
Right.
Basic white bitches, because now they're getting that monogram in on it and shit like that with their
now they're customizing. Right.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's like I think it's like, I think once you customize it, that's a little different. But I mean, I don't know. It's like even Taylor Swift gets shit for her million different versions of the same album, right? Because she's feeding into that shit. It's like Taylor Swift is just another La Boo Boo. Also because I just really like saying that. La Boo Boo. It's a really good word. It rolls off the tongue.
Could be your safe word.
You know, that's the safe word, la boo boo.
La boo boo.
You know. Although if you're a real fan, you'll be able to tell me what the rest of what the names of the other things are, of the other monsters. Because La Boo Boo is not the brand, it's the name of one of the monsters. Everybody has that. I think that's just the name that everyone latched onto, I guess.
Because it's fun to say.
It's fun to say.
It's Labubu, Makoko,
right.
And I don't care. Taikoko, Zamomo.
Yeah, it's something like that.
There's a few. Yeah.
They're all.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, and I found out too.
And I give zero fucks about Labubu.
Yeah. And also I found out too that they're all girls. The monsters are all girls. I don't know if that's canon or not. It's kind of like when Lorraine told me that all the Pikachus are female. All Pikachus are female. So I don't know. So yeah. So I just think like all the variant covers, like that's a trend. I just want people to like calm the fuck down on them. It's like, you know what, then maybe your sketchbook doesn't need 30 variants. You know, like maybe like, 1, 2. Okay, I'll give you the nude variant. There's always a nude variant. Fine. But it's like, because look, I did that once. Medieval Unicorn Viking Slut. I think I must have counted like 50 covers when everything was said and done. And I'm like, how do people fucking do this all the time? This is insane. How do you keep track of fucking 50 covers on a campaign? You
have a team.
So I've never done it again. I can't even handle one variant cover now. It's like, look, here's the main cover, and here's the sketch cover. That's it. That's all you get.
That's what you get.
And you like it. Because I really do think, like, once you kind of see, it's like, that's kind of like, it's like just trying to encourage that unhinged behavior. It's like, it's not even collecting at that point. Like once you have like 30 Labubus, it's really collecting. When you have 50 Stanley Cups, are you really collecting, or do you really need to just be on medication? Is there a phone call you have to make, to a gambling hotline? I mean, it's like, it's like, yeah, it's like, when you're buying 30 variants, and look, this is just as bad when Marvel, like, I think when they did Star Wars, didn't they do like a Star Wars release that had like 100 variant covers for one fucking Star Wars comic?
Yeah, it was a lot.
I mean, it's like, no, that's unhinged. That's encouraging unhinged behavior. I mean, it's like, look, I still remember that guy at the Pop Mart store saying that they were no longer allowed to sell Labubus physically in the store because people got violent.
Yeah.
And he had this stare like, bro, what did you see?
Yeah, they were.
Remember? It was the same thing.
And then it was Funkos.
Yeah, and you know what? And it's like, yeah, it's like, and I don't want to give the idea that this is a recent phenomenon either. I mean, Cabbage Patch Kids. Everyone remember Cabbage Patch Kids? When
that old lady that got killed so that I could have my redhead, green-eyed Ricky Lynn deserved to die.
I mean, it's like, you remember the original Karening? Which was the Cabbage Patch Kids, I mean, and then it was just like, yeah, and then it's like the Furbies, and then
Elmo,
the Elmos, right? Like the fucking Elmo.
Oh, and the La La Loopsies. It might not. That shit's there. That was the one I had to deal with,
right?
And because it's the one thing that Jaden wanted for Christmas.
Right. But unfortunately, it was the one thing everybody wanted for Christmas.
But you know what? Check this out. There's a really fucking cool Christmas story in this one.
Okay.
Like, we were fucking poor ass people back then. Like, super poors. Like, we think we're poors now. We was real poors back then. And we'd gone. And we could not. There was one doll. It was an artist that she wanted.
Right.
and could not find that fucker anywhere.
Right.
Ben. Christmas Eve, just casually fucking grabbing batteries and shit. Had already surrendered and everything. Leaving the fucking store and saw a resale buggy, looked over, and there was the one fucking doll she wanted sitting in the resale in the reshop buggy.
Right. Because I guess someone either had returned it or
it was one of those, like, I felt like it's like everything was in slow motion because it's like, can I get that ugly fucking doll before anybody else does? Can I get to that before anyone else sees it? And I did.
Right.
Does
she still have it?
No, she does not, but she had it for a long time.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Wow, I've never heard of that doll.
Yeah, the Lala Loopsies. They were the button. They look like Coraline, kind of.
Oh.
They were the button-eyed fucking dolls. They with the ragdoll hair and shit, but it wasn't real ragdoll hair. It was hard fucking plastic. They were the ugliest motherfuckers all day long.
Right.
Like, for real. Oh, look.
The full-on riot for a fuck. Oh, right. Yeah.
The Fuglies too.
The Fuglies, yeah.
But it was
and then now you can find them
everywhere.
You know, but it's like, so it's like, it's not like I don't know. I just kind of think it's gotten, like, with the internet and with TikTok in particular, it's just gotten even more unhinged.
Right.
Like, people are just like nutty. But again, it in the end, it's like I can't really say it that it's that like that's new, because it's like people literally died on Black Fridays. Remember?
Yeah, they did.
They would have a running tally as to how many people literally expired.
That is why that was never my thing.
On Black Fridays for a $30 television set that you can now still get for $30. I mean, so it's like, so in the end, I don't know why I find it, like, more annoying now. And I'm kind of wondering if that has something to do with the fact that trends don't have breathing room anymore. Like, before, it used to be like you had to wait until Christmas to find out what the hottest toy was.
Right.
Or, like, usually it would pop up in the summer, and then, like, usually, like, the hot toy would pop up in the summer. At least the inklings of a hot toy. Right. And then by Christmas, that's when that
J.C. Penney's catalog came out.
Right, probably, right? Yeah.
Was cool.
The Toys R Us catalog.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, usually it was like the Sears catalog, I think, was the most famous one. The toy catalog. But now it seems like we're going through one of these trends like every month practically.
I just can't keep up with it all.
Yeah, no, for real. That it's like, look, weren't we just going crazy over La Boo Boo? Now it's Tiny Chef. Like, now everybody's got a fucking Tiny Chef hanging off their purses. Like, what's funny? The frenzy for La Boo Boo was so big.
I'm still trying to get my push ball and fidget spinners.
Yeah. That when I first saw La Boo Boo, I thought it was something that Burberry made.
It's ugly. It's ugly as fuck.
Or Coach. Like, I thought it was like one of those designer dolls, like to hang off of like a Coach bag or a Burberry bag or a Louis Vuitton bag, because that was the only context I was seeing them in when I first started hearing about them. So I thought that I didn't think anything of it, because I thought that it was like a Louis Vuitton thing.
Yeah, because the most expensive thing I got's over here is going to be my lunchbox.
And then it turns out to be like, no, it's just fucking like doll. Like, and before La Boo Boos, it was Sunny Angels.
I missed that one. See, I blinked.
Yeah, you see, you blinked, right? It's like, no, it's like every Gen Zer collects Sunny Angels, like these little Japanese Kewpie dolls, right? And then it's like before that, it was Smiskies.
What the fuck is that?
It's a little green
this is
thing.
The year of I had a stroke.
It's a little
I
it's
missed
like really
a couple things.
A little green thing. I was like, wait, what the fuck is a Smitsky? What are you doing? Why? What's Sunny Angel? And then it's like,
wow,
we're
I
at
have
been
dissociating myself for far too long.
So it's like, so it's like that's kind of how I feel with variant covers. Like I said, it's like, Okay, 2, 3. All right, fine. The nude cover, fine. But it's like, yeah, when it's like it's 30.
30 covers and
30 covers,
4 variants
one,
of each one.
You know, yeah, exactly. And it's like, but it's one book.
Right.
It's like, I really do think that's a trend that should go. Oh, that and bad girl comics done by people who are too cowardly to do porno. But that's definitely just me.
No, you're not alone. You're not alone. And like, I'm not saying I need like to open this shit up and it needs to be Hustler page per page. But if you're gonna show this bitch, like you're gonna insinuate that there's tits and ass inside, you better give a little.
Right, yeah. You know, because it's like, yeah, it's like you want your shit to look like it's a porno, but then like, oh, I don't do that. I don't do that. How dare you? This is not an adult book.
Yeah, okay, buddy.
Her tits are as big as her head on the cover, and it takes up 90% of it. What did you expect me to think?
I love that pink panty up shot.
Right, yeah, exactly. It's like all your covers are panty up shots, but then you open up the book and it's like, oh, there's nothing in here.
Such a disappointment.
You know, it's like, oh, it's like you're just
they like to edge themselves to death.
Yeah, really. It's how I always felt about Maxim magazine.
Though edging can be
like
fun.
Maxim magazine were for people or for guys who were too afraid to pick up Hustler. You know. So I don't know. Yeah. So now I'm just being stupid because it's too hot in here.
It is hot. My ass crack is sweating.
You know, but yeah, there's no. So yeah. So the moral of the story is repost your shit. You have to repost your shit 7 times.
Share and share often.
Yeah, share. You have to remember 7 times to be seen once.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's depressing.
Yeah, it is.
You know, but yeah, so it's like, so don't be afraid to, and make sure you do it for free, because the people who pay don't have any better results than you either.
Bazillions and bazillions of dollars.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Happened.
And nothing happened. Right. You know, so yeah, so that's, I guess like that's the advice for today. Post 7 times to be seen once.
But don't do it all in one day.
Well, yeah, don't do it all in one day.
Because you'll be flagged as spam.
Right. Yeah, you don't want to do that. There are still words. There are still like rules to that.
Oh, all these colors, Daphne?
What all
these indecisive colors I have?
Oh, yes.
I decided I'm going to paint my kitchen orange.
Oh,
I decided
sure?
that last night. I'm not even going to tell you what trash show gave me the idea.
Or I mean,
but I saw it and I was like,
I told you to stay away from like yellowish colors.
Look, I never heed good advice.
I don't know.
I mean, is it
an accent wall? If you're gonna,
my whole kitchen needs to be orange.
You're gonna get tired of that color like so fast,
and then I'll paint it again. But for now,
I guess. You know,
but I still have time because I can come to my senses because I still got to do the bathroom,
right?
And the girls' room.
You have some time to think about it.
Am I quite done?
Right.
Yeah. But
that's
after last night, I was like, oh, I love that color.
Kitchen. That's like
it's like a pumpkin
70s. Orange.
Like I don't give a shit.
I don't know. That's like
it's retro. It's vintage. It's coming back.
It's okay. It's vintage. It's retro.
Because the other room next to it,
it's grandma coded,
and it was like because then I started thinking I kind of want to start collecting them fucking old mushroom jars. Is like,
so you are going for full vintage.
I was totally digging it in the fucking glass jars with the fucking lentils and peas and rice.
Right.
Just totally
you never
fucking
touch.
Yeah, fuck no, you don't touch it. It's for an emergency.
It's for an emergency, right?
Yeah,
right.
I totally. Yeah,
and then you have the little Hummel figurines squished in.
No, because I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Okay.
I'm not.
Right.
Although I have seen some people are revamping and gave me a great idea because all it takes is a little clay and paint. They're taking those fucking Precious Moments figurines they're finding from Goodwill and turning them into modern characters. Right. And I'm thinking to myself, I might actually do that with a couple myself because it's easy.
What, you pick one up for like $2?
And then come home and turn it into whatever the fuck I want, and it's one of a kind.
Boy, I can't wait until I can't wait, like, when we're old and decrepit and we're hearing about how like Goodwill has Funko Pops for $1. Everybody
already do. That's how fast this one dropped off.
Yeah.
I meant out.
Oh man,
they already do.
Yeah, there's already like
and
orange is total 70s. The 70s.
What really attracted me to it was then after the next room over, they had that funk green, and I'm like, you know what? I don't know why this shit. I like it.
Right,
I'm digging it, and it just doesn't like. Well, it beats like back in the day, I would have painted it black and had blood trim. You know, so it's like I'm getting old.
Oh my goodness!
Look, I need to get off the Cymbalta.
Yeah,
I need my Zoloft back.
Actually, let's. We're.
I'm gonna change
maybe
my
we should
medicine.
Just get off the show all in general.
Yeah,
maybe we're just falling apart here. This is just everybody watching us disintegrate in the heat.
Oh shit.
So any final thoughts?
That's my final thought.
Those are my final thoughts. Yeah. So that's pretty much it for us. So I just want to apologize. I don't know if this fan has been interfering too much with the microphone, but look, it's too hot in here. It was just way too hot.
Turn it around and talk through it though.
But I'm a bad guy.
If you just said girl, I'd have melted right here. But you had to fuck it up. Yeah, let's get out of here.
So thank you everybody who hung out in the chat with us, putting up with our nonsense. Thank you so much to all our beautiful eyeball people listening to us in the background, where we obviously especially belong, in the corner, babbling to ourselves as you worked like the serious people that you are. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. You could have been listening to anybody else, but you listened to us instead, and we appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much. So hopefully, barring anything, hopefully we'll be able to get our shit together for the other shows that you're going to be seeing us on for the rest of the week. Hopefully we'll be back without incident. But yeah, we can't guarantee anything. So if you want to learn more about me and my artwork and all my everything else, you can head on over to my main portfolio site at eagleworks.com. You can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites, but I mostly post to Facebook if you're interested in seeing sketches and current work in progress updates. And you can also find me here on YouTube for all my videos and my semi-weekly art live streams Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern. It's semi-weekly because either I do them or I don't do them, but I try to alternate. But that, like I said, that's how it goes. It's 2 hours of me just working and hanging out with the chat, and it's kind of like being at a convention, but you never have to worry about whether you're blocking my table or not. So also in between campaigns, you can also read Eagle Raven, Air the First Unicorn, for free, uploading every day, Monday through Friday. But if you prefer your fantasy to be more of a furry Lord of the Rings adventure, you can follow the link over to Tall Tales. That's TAILS online.com. And not only can you read the first 20 issues of Tall Tales for free, but you can catch up on the latest story arc, Tears of the Mother, which is also currently uploading Monday through Friday. However, if you want an easier way to read Eagle Raven and Tall Tales, you can check out Webtoon. Eagle Raven and Tall Tales is on Webtoon, with Eagle Raven updating every Tuesday and Tall Tales updating every Thursday. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. That's it for us. And in the words of the ancients, eat your food, moisturize, mind your business, and do the work. And especially wear sunscreen, especially with this sun. Moisturizer with sunscreen. And don't forget to do the work, because when you actually do the work, you never have to fake any of your accomplishments. Thank you so much again, and we'll see you next time.
I got one. When I first heard about Dave being trapped in a maze, I was like, well, at least he's not sucking a big veiny dick for Kickstarter money.
That's not how Kickstarter...